What bud do y'all think I'm smoking tonight? I want to know, what does everybody in the live think I got going on tonight, man? I got a little something right here. I'm wondering, what do y'all think it is? Cookies brand. What is Mikey T smoking tonight? What does everybody want to know? Do you guys want to know? Does anybody care? Mikey T is smoking on the sticky buns tonight, you guys. Got myself a little sticky bun pack from the cookie store tonight for the live stream. Very, very good brand of Chronic right here. It's like 19%, 20%, right around there. Anybody wants to see it, that's how it looks. Just so you all know, we got some shit to talk about tonight. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Hit that like button on the way in. Share this video. You know what I'm saying? Share this video with all your social media outlets. Share this video with all your friends. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Facebook like that, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, whatever form of social media you want to use, you share this video and let everybody know what you're doing tonight. Live stream going down. What's poppin', LS? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Definitely appreciate you for tapping in. We got a lit show for tonight. We have a dope show for tonight, man. I can't wait to talk about some of these topics. Some topics have been explained. Some topics have been, you know what I mean, lingering for years, actually, when we're talking about 50 Cent in the game. Let's get this thing going right. Everything's looking good here. Everything's looking good on my end. I just wanted to roll up real quick. Actually back on the Dutch Masters tonight, you guys. We're actually back on the Dutch Masters tonight, y'all. That's right. Let me get a nice little healthy portion up. This is Smalls 7Gs. Picked up a couple joints of these. Shelton is in the building. My boy Mikey T 717 in the building. Slapface Airbnb. Mikey T, the house. No, I'm not the housekeeper, bro. The Airbnb assistant. Yes. Hell yeah, man. Yep. Appreciate you, man. Major salute to you. But my guy, Steven Rivera, is in the building. Mikey T, glad to see you. You know, man, I was watching an interview that was actually posted on 50 Cent, the game. You know what I'm saying? I saw what happened to Crip Mac, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Crip Mac obviously has been doing his thing for the last few months, but sometimes your past will come back to haunt you. You know what I mean? Sometimes videos that you filmed will come back to haunt you. Sometimes they won't. You know what I mean? I mean, if you don't know what I mean, let's talk about Post Malone, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Post Malone had a video surface of him wearing some jean shorts. He was doing some crazy karaoke, and that shit could have ended his career. You know what I mean? We've seen other videos surface that have ended people's career. Sometimes artists have got jumped and gone on to flourish, though. You know what I mean? Some cases, artists have got jumped and actually, went on to sell out shows still, went on to do a whole bunch of views on the internet, get their streams up and shit like that. Will Crip Mac be able to do it in this case? I mean, Crip Mac isn't really an artist like that, I don't think. Crip Mac, he's more of a personality on the internet. Sometimes when a personality on the internet, when this happens to them, half their fan base will get depleted, man. Dutchies, we on the Dutchies tonight, you guys. We is on the Dutchies tonight. Can't hate on the fact that I'm on the Dutchies tonight, man. I've been on the Raws the last few months. You know what I mean? I've been doing the pre-ground, but it was time to get back in my bag. And it was time to get on the cookies wave and grab some of the sticky buns, man. Had to do it. Had to do it. I appreciate everybody tapping in tonight, man. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. I'm just going to roll something up while we get started here tonight. Got to get some of this sticky buns in the air. Shelton, what you smoking on? What's everybody smoking, man? Let me know what you're rolling up. Yerp. What up, West Main OG? Young OG in the building. Salute to you. I'm going to roll up a nice one, man. We got to burn something down before we get into these topics, man, because we got some shit to talk about. We got some shit to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Let me see. Cool. For sure, for sure. What up, what up, what up? Oh, you on that GMO tonight, bro? Yeah, man. The last time I had GMO, it was actually 31%. My brother Wavy J loved that shit, man. He's still talking about it to this day. Of course, his half lasted a lot longer than mine. I blow through that shit like nothing. What's up with you, Big Swift? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight, man. 229 South Georgia tapping in. I was almost going to grab that Georgia pie tonight, man. I can't lie. I was about to grab that Georgia pie tonight, you know, because it was actually testing at about 23%. So I was going to pick up the Georgia pie, just to be real with you, but I had to go with the sticky buns for a couple reasons that I would rather not discuss. You know what I'm saying? A couple reasons I'd rather not discuss. All right. All right. Yeah, let me get this shit twisted up. Big Swift. Big Swift. Yeah, some bullshit happened. I'm not going to get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like too petty to get into, to be honest with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Just let me get my weed and let me just get up out of here, man. I ain't trying to really tamper with all that shit. Ooh, Steve Drive is in the building, saying that he would actually be disappointed. Interesting comment right there. Saying, I would be disappointed if 50 Cent squashed the beef with the game. You know, they've had a couple different opportunities to squash the beef, you know, in public setting. I mean, I guess you could say the fact that they actually linked up in a public setting, you know, the fact that they actually linked up in a public setting, I guess you could say that the beef isn't really to a certain extent anymore. You know, it's not like they're gonna stall off on one another just because they see each other out there. You know, that the days of that are over. I mean, we've heard what happened when 50 Cent was actually at the radio station and he actually kicked the game out of G Unit while on the radio station. I guess the game just so happened to be in New York at that time. You know what I'm saying? I guess the game just so happened to be in New York at that time promoting his shit. Okay, what up? What up? What up? Would your capital third letter? What's popping with you, man? What's popping with you, man? Alan Watt, what's popping, man? What's popping with you, Alan Watt? Appreciate you for tapping in. Definitely appreciate you for tapping in, man. Prayers go out to Crip Mac. It's sad because he has disabilities. I believe that he got beat up because they were jealous of him. He has a little bit of fame. Rena, a lot of people are going to say different things about this. It could be jealousy. It certainly could be a form of jealousy. He was gaining quite a bit of fame. I really started taking notice of him when China Mac worked with him. I believe it was on the Mac Eats episode. I'm not sure if Mac went out to his hood or whatever it was, but I noticed them actually doing a little bit of work together. And, I was like, damn, this guy, he's got a personality. He's got a larger than life personality. He actually holds the screen. He's got camera presence. He had hella face tattoos, blatant face tattoos, different than anybody else's. You know what I mean? When people get a face tattoo, they try to be, you know what I mean? They at least try to be cool about it. Sometimes you'll see like a rapper with a palm tree. Sometimes you'll see a rapper, Lil Wayne has sunglasses on his face. You know what I mean? Yeah, Cameron, that's another rumor. You know what I'm saying? That's another rumor about him hood hopping, as you would say. It's really unfortunate what happened to Crip Mac. I saw the video. I was watching the video. It seemed like Crip was doing something that he usually does. You know what I mean? It looked like Crip Mac was doing something very standard, you guys. Crip Mac was shooting a little video where he was doing a little dance. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was getting paid for it. Maybe he was. Maybe it was some sort of an endorsement. People don't pay me to go out and do dances. I guess they don't really want to see me dance. But Crip Mac was beginning to really get a bunch of different opportunities where he could make bread and where he could, start to build himself to different audiences and shit like that outside of all the gangsta shit. I saw that. I saw that shit for him. Will this stop him? Will this stunt his growth? Um, some people say that when this type of shit happens to you, it's all over. Some people will say you're going to lose half of your fan base. Some people say you're going to lose half of your fan base when you get involved with this situation. Look at Rena. She says Crip Mac 55 was a teenager when he wrote that. Yeah, the allegation is that he had a video on his Facebook. He had a video on his Facebook. And the video where he was actually repping a whole other set, right? So he was actually repping a whole other set, and people looked at him like, yo, you are that guy. You are that guy from this division. You know what I mean? And then to see him doing that whole 180, you know what I mean? To see him repping something totally different threw people off. So I don't know if he got invited to a little video shoot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got invited to a little video shoot. You know what I'm saying? Where they were like, yo, listen, we got this paid gig for you. We want you to come through. We're going to have you do a little dance. You know what I mean? We're going to have you do a little dance and we're going to pay you and we're going to put it on social media and you can help us blow it up. And I don't know if that was the case. And then while he was on the set, the dudes just ran up on him because he was in a place that left him vulnerable, or if it was everybody was in collusion. I can't call that. You know what I mean? You never can call that. Even in my own situation, I can't call what would happen. Like if I'm there interviewing somebody and then dudes run up on me. I can make my speculation, but I don't know if that's the fact. I don't know if he's getting a text message in his phone like, yo, we're showing up, we're ready to roll on Mikey T. Maybe I got to do a video on that though, and tell my truth. But no, Andy, he wasn't actually repping that. But let me see. I saw a good comment here from um capital third letter C said he'll probably get more exposure now. Actually, that's potential, man. That's potential. A couple different things could happen. He could get more exposure than anything. He could get a movie role. He could get invited to several talk shows. That could happen to give him more notoriety. He really could start exploding onto the scene. Or it could go the opposite way. People could say, what do we really need Crip Mac for? What can Crip Mac really do? Share this video, everybody. Hit that like button. That's what they could start saying, you guys. They could say, what can Crip Mac do? Now, Wack 100 spoke on this whole thing, and he actually spoke with the big homie, with my guy, Big Chuck, Death of the Clout Chaser. They featured it on World Star. So dope to see Big Chuck getting his movement featured on all the best platforms. But Wack 100 spoke on it on the Death of the Clout Chaser platform, the Clubhouse platform, and he said all the ways of the narrative getting spun about Crip Mac false flagging. You know what I mean? The narrative is getting spun right now on the internet, and a lot of people out there are talking about it that shouldn't really be talking about it, trying to explain certain things about it that really shouldn't be explaining certain things about it. You got one dude who jumped on the Clubhouse and he was like, yo, this blogger has everything up about the incident that actually happened. And Wack 100 went on to explain, well, yo, that blogger is actually from the rival hood of Crip Mac. So why do you think, like, you need to educate yourself first of all before you're reading into the headlines that you're reading into? If you're dealing with some, like, if you're 50 Cent, for instance, if you're a 50 Cent fan and you're getting your information from a Murder Inc. fan base website, you know what I'm saying? It probably won't be true. If you back in the day, if you were a fan of Eminem and you're going to the source, you might not be getting, you know what I'm saying, the right reference for your artist that you're interested in. Shit works like that. Let me see. Rena said he got set up. Well, he certainly got set up because people were watching him. You know what I mean? I don't know if the people that he was shooting that little Macarena like video with, again, really disappointed that people don't hit me up to do dance videos. But like the whoever he was shooting the video with, I can't say they set him up. That could have been some business that he was trying to do, and probably making a rack or two doing the business. Andy says, I like him for his charity. I like how he seems to genuinely care for the less fortunate. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't say that because I don't know Crip Mac all too well. But when guys do begin to get it for the first time in their career, they actually do. You know what I mean? They actually do show a considerable amount of love to the community, whether it's doing something for the schools or for the shelters or just person to person. You know what I mean? You see that. You see that type of shit when somebody gets into a position of power. We were actually just talking about it the other day. 50 and G Unit had the G Unity Foundation almost immediately, when G Unit actually popped off. So I'm not really going to put that past some people. Once you get in a position, you should be giving back. I look forward to being at that part of my life too. You know what I mean? When you get to look what Nori's doing. I said it the other night. Look what Nori's doing with Drink Champs. Nori is giving out the flowers literally. He's giving them something, sending them home with something, man. me see. Call it new money. Yeah. Call it new money. I actually shot a video. Called New Money back in the day. Yep. When I was in Trinidad, actually. Shit was a movie, man. Shit was a movie. That was back in the day when everybody was drinking Hennessy with Red Bull, though. Everybody still doing that, or am I like out of the loop doing that shit? Hmm. Nice, nice. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Share this video. Mr. Uptown, appreciate you for tapping in, man. We're just getting started. I'm actually trying to roll up right now. I got a little something on deck. Some dope on deck, actually. Sticky buns. So I just wanted to put that in the L, actually. Bro, you're crazy. LJ. Crip Mac has got more heart than everybody in this chat. Like, bro, like who the hell do you think you are logging into this chat? This chat is filled with the most heart. Like, you're out of your damn mind trying to go against my chat. You must not know what room you're logging into. This is Mikey T, the movie stars room. This is Report Card Radio, where if people jump in this room and they start dissing me, the chat gets on their ass. So you logging in here talking about Crip Mac, and all respect to Crip Mac. Respect to you, geez, with everything that you're going through. But I'm not just going to say you got more heart than everybody in this chat room. I'll be damned if you're just going to get Mikey T, the movie star, on here sucking up like that. I'm not going to say that shit. Save that shit for Soulja Boy to say to his 1,000 fans watching. But I'm not. Respect to Crip Mac again. Everybody that messes with him. But I'm not going to say Crip Mac has more heart than anybody in this damn chat room. That type of shit ain't for nobody to say, man. Don't be leaving no weird ass comments like that in my live, man. That shit is just corny. Yo, man, I stick up for my chat room, man. I stick up for everybody in this room. Dude's telling me, man, I was popping when Crip Mac was wondering what the hell he was going to do to pay for his breakfast. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying nothing about not being able to afford breakfast, because I've been there where I had to wake up in the morning and I had $1.42 so I could go get a damn coffee from McDonald's, and then I had to make this internet shit work. So I'll be damned if anybody's going to talk about heart. You know what I'm saying? I got the most heart in the whole hip hop industry. I've been doing this shit for 12 years. So, I mean, all respect to Crip Mac for getting jumped and going through hell right now. But nah, we ain't doing that here, man. We ain't doing that here, bro. Hell yeah, capital third letter C, bro. You know, I see you from chatting in this room. How am I going to say somebody I don't even know, that I never chatted with, has got more heart than you? I'd be a complete fraud saying that about my fan base. I would be a complete fraud. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Crip Mac, he didn't run away. You know what I'm saying? He got up. He didn't run. I never ran. I was just talking to my boy, but I never ran in my life. You don't run with this shit. Sometimes you got to face what comes at you. You know, Crip Mac, his situation seems to stem from an old Facebook post, right? If it's Facebook, I'm wondering how old it is really. Yeah, no, yeah, it's no disrespect to Crip Mac, man. And I think he'll see that and whatever. I don't give a damn though. I would tell that to Crip Mac if he logged in this video with me right now, and I'd be like, "Yo, bro, all respect to you, but I'm not just gonna sit here and say you got more heart than all the people in my audience. Not gonna happen. Not on my show." 10 years ago, what's up, big facts? Dallas is in the building. Dallas is in the building. And I know Andy respects that shit that I was on right there, too. Yeah, Crip Mac, yeah, he's a king. Crip Mac is a king. But that's not saying that everybody in this chat room ain't kings and queens as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take nothing away from the people that I'm going into my videos with. I don't want to say going into war with, because we don't need to talk like that, man. Hell yeah. Salute to Canada for tapping in, man. How about this shit though, man? The allegations about false flagging, the allegations about calling out a hood. Wack 100 even said he done some of the same things that Crip Mac did. You know what I'm saying? Wack 100 even said that he is going to do an interview with Crip Mac, y'all. How crazy is that? Wack 100 was on the Clubhouse with my bro Big Chuck, who's killing that shit. Chuck really be doing his thing, man. I remember me and Chuck used to be going live, and Chuck general status right now. You know what I'm saying? But Wack 100 seeing that Crip Mac was in the live, and like a professional, I gotta give credit where it's due. I wouldn't be a real one if I didn't give credit where it was due. So Wack 100 was like, yo, I'm going to log out of the video respectfully because I'm actually going to do a interview with Crip Mac. So boom, right there. Wack 100 thinking with a clear mind. Wack 100 using the advice from Master P. He's using the advice from Master P. What's popping, my brother? Flat Prolific. Wack 100 is using that advice that Master P gave him when it came to, yo, you can be out here, you could buy all the flashy shit, you could buy the $100 jeans. That's where I am right now, you guys. I'm not 350ing it up right now on some jeans, although them shits must be really comfortable. But you know what I'm saying? Or you can make projects that will stand the test of time. You know what? I think I want option 3. I think I want to make products that the world will see forever. It's kind of like what Kanye West said about NFTs, you guys. Kanye West was like, I don't want to do NFTs. I want to make real products for the world. I don't want to do NFTs. I want to make real products that the world can see. I respect Kanye West for that, man. Yeah. I called it, you guys. We called it, actually. We called it on this channel. We called it, you guys. Wack 100 was going to start a podcast. But why wouldn't he? You know what I mean? That's not no shots at Wack 100. Why wouldn't he start a podcast? He has turned his voice into one of the most well-known voices in the hip-hop community. However you feel about it, he has done it. How? By talking about different topics, by getting his hands in a little bit of everything. That's what a good chef knows how to do, I think. I'm not much into the culinary school of fine arts, but I would imagine a good chef knows how to make everything. A good podcaster knows how to talk about everything, you guys. So let's be realistic about this situation. Wack 100 is smart. Very, very smart to be bringing Crip Mac on his show. I heard him say it, and it looks like we're going to be getting that interview maybe sooner rather than later. I don't know if the podcast has actually started yet. You know what I mean? Actually, Wack 100 went with somebody else on his podcast who was like completely unknown to me, rather than hitting me up to be on his podcast. You know what I'm saying? I would have picked up the phone for Wack. I would have been his co-host, somebody who actually got their ear to the street. But he went with who he went with, man, and I'm sure his podcast will get off and rocking. And we're doing what we're doing over here. But yeah, everybody in this chat, do me a favor, share this video. You know what I'm saying? Share this video. Make sure you put it on your Facebook or your Twitter, whatever you want to put it on. I'm just about to post it on my Instagram. But I'd appreciate if you all share it as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Just give me one more second. But also, I got to roll up, man. I don't know if y'all are smoking. I don't know if y'all are smoking without me. I don't know if y'all are smoking without me, man, but I need to roll up too. 55th Street. Yo, that shit's on 55th Street, man. That shit's on 55th Street is what Crip Mac keeps saying in this interview that I was watching, man. Crip Mac was actually shooting a video. He was doing a promo video. He was doing a little dancing. I'm not really sure what he was doing. He's doing some. Maybe this is the reason that I can't get involved with none of the dance videos because I don't really know the shit. You know what I mean? I just grab the Bel Air Rose and get lit. I might not know all the dance moves and shit, but I grab the Bel Air Rose and get lit. You know what I'm saying? Cheap plug for Bel Air Rose. Ricky Rose, I'm still waiting on that call, the Bel Air blogger and shit. But yeah, Crip Mac spoke on it, man. He was doing an interview. China Mac actually had him in a video, as I said earlier. That's where I became really familiar with him. Crip Mac, he got put on the ground, and then the video dropped. It showed the first part when he was dancing, and then the next part where he was put on the ground. And then he actually jumped on the internet all scuffed up. You know what I mean? I did the same thing though. You know what I mean? You can't be afraid to show your wounds. You know what I mean? If you're afraid to show yourself to the internet, then you're really done. That's when you're really done, you guys. That's when you've really lost it. When you're afraid. Like a lot of people, they could have went away for a week, 2 weeks, 10 days. I mean, y'all seen I healed up pretty quick. But that could have actually been bad if I didn't jump on the internet. You know what I mean? I try to be transparent with my fan base. So I feel the same way about Crip Mac jumping on the internet, man. He said, down out here, we don't run from DPs. We don't run from issues. Years ago, how MFers looked at it, our hood was doing Custer activities. Our hood caught up. I got dropped off right in the turf, took care of my issues, called Lupe, picked me up some beers. But yeah, you see that he said like he kind of got caught up from what his hood was doing, Custer activities. I think he means custy activities, slimy shit. He kind of got bunched into the group of it, man. He said picked up some beers and maybe some chicken. But guess what? At the end of the day, everything is going to be all right. I'm going to keep it 55th Street. So even facing this beating, Crip Mac is saying he's still keeping it 55th Street. Crip Mac got back to listening to his music and got back to his life as he did this video with his messed up shirt and his messed up face, still wearing his chain. One part that really resonated with me was we don't run from issues. We don't run from issues. Nah, man. If you got to take your ass whooping, you got to take your ass whooping, man. If you got something coming for you, you got to stand up like a man and face it. You don't make your friends face it. You don't do that, man. A real man doesn't do that. I mean, now if it's a crazy situation and it's like 8-on-1 and your three friends stick up for you, friends go out like that sometime. But in reality, you should stand up to your own situations. And that's what I've always prided myself on doing. You know what I'm saying? So for Crip Mac to actually jump on the internet right after this happened, I got to say I respect that. You know what I mean? It's not like he was crying. It's not like he was, bumbling like a punk. It's not like he picked up the phone to, call for assistance in any way and start a lawsuit or anything. Not saying he could. The people who got him probably don't got nothing to sue for, but that's just some shit that some people be doing sometimes. You got to realize, man, sometimes this shit comes with the game. You know what I mean? Sometimes you could get called out and exposed. You know what I mean? You can get exposed in these situations. And if you got videos circulating on the internet, those shits don't go away, man. Like, I don't know what you're thinking those videos are just going to go away and you're going to be good. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me, man. Custer is like a buster, not like a custy like customer. Well, yeah, like there's a saying like custy like situations. Everybody share this video, man. We got some shit to talk about. We got some shit to talk about, you guys. Because Wack 100 spoke out on this situation too. You know what I mean? Wack 100, he was talking about how people flip the narrative in situations like this. Wack 100 is actually going to do an official interview with Crip Mac. So right there, we're going to get everything solved. Right there, we're going to. Capital third letter C says he looks like he can get down, but you can't physically win in the situation he was in. Yeah, the situation is, he lost from being there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the people he was filming with set him up or anything, but when you put yourself in a vulnerable state, you've already lost. And this guy is actually to a point where everything he does is pretty much for money. You know what I mean? He's getting paid. He's getting a bag. He's getting. Big Fact said Wack 100 is lame too. No BS. Well, man, Wack 100 is going to do an interview with Crip Mac. That says a lot to me. That says a lot to me. Wack 100 isn't going to, shy away from getting both ends of the story. That shows a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? That shows a lot of talent, or that shows a lot of, a lot of talent when it comes to being a podcaster, man. He's gonna put shit to the side so he can actually get the whole story, man. A lot of people like they just can't do that. They just can't do that. You know what I mean? Because they don't really get the respect to be able to do that. Sometimes when somebody interviews somebody, you know what I'm saying? They won't ask certain questions. Sometimes when somebody interviews somebody, their enemies will never in life do an interview with that person. That happened to me when I was working with Domination, Dice, and Bangum Smurf. Maserati Fox saw the interview. Rest in peace. Maserati Fox saw the interviews, and he said that he basically did an interview saying that he would smack me. Maserati Fox made his decision at that point. I'm not going to do no interview with Mikey T. He done did interviews with Bangum Smurf and Maybach Dice and Domination. Ooh, Anvil Williams in the building. He said Crip Mac was on fire right now. Yesterday's price is not today's price. But Anvil, will there be a price? Will there be a consumer? Will there be somebody that wants to purchase the goods? Is the question. Because in this situation, a lot of people can turn their back on you, guys. In this situation that Crip Mac is facing right now, everybody could turn their back on you, but one man who is not turning his back on Crip Mac, somebody that is actually standing up for Crip Mac, is actually Charleston White, you guys. Charleston White is actually standing up for Crip Mac. It's kind of strange, but it's also good to see the camaraderie. I'm not going to lie. Right now, Crip Mac needs that. He needs that shit more than ever right now. He needs people to stand up for him. Wack 100 proven to do a dope thing. Wack 100 saying he's going to do an interview with him. Charleston White was damn near in tears. Well, he was in tears. He was, in his word, shedding tears for Crip Mac, man. I got to say I respect that. I respect that shit, man. Charleston White, as much crazy shit that he says on the internet, he's always got, what is it called? Is it a silver lining or something like that? Is that what the saying is? He's always, doing something, man. Cameron says Charleston White faked them tears. I don't agree with you, man. I don't agree with you on that, man. Charleston White, I think, feels for this situation going on with, Crip Mac. I think he does. To see this shit happen, you know what I mean? To see this shit happen, I'm not going to mention any names, but a few people reached out to me, you know what I mean, after what happened to me in Philly. You know what I'm saying? A few people, I'm not going to just sit out here and say names about every, but when shit like this happens, you see who really is there for you, who you might not have known. You know what I'm saying? People that you might not have known were there for you. Stand up and show you support. Anvil says Charleston spoke from the heart. Yeah, he did, man. Charleston hit me with that shit. That kind of made me look at him in a whole nother way. He said, I got tears in my eyes for you, homie. I got tears in my eyes for you. Your loyalty is going to be your destruction. The loyalty you have is admirable. You know what I'm saying? Just watching Crip Mac, you know what I'm saying? He admired the way Crip Mac was, man. What he saw in him, but also in a lot of cases, loyalty will be a lot of our destruction. You know what I mean? You really got to make sure you're loyal to the right thing. You're loyal to the right cause. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that your loyalty is in the right place. Andy, please don't comment that in my chat, bro. He getting that bag. Exactly, big facts. He is getting that bag. That is a 100% fact, man. That is a 100% fact, man. Whether it's hostings, appearances, Crip Mac is really getting to the bag right now. And that's, I started to take notice of him after he blew up with China Mac. I honestly heard, I don't want to say that's when I first saw him, but that's when I first started taking notice of him. After he did that video with China Mac, I was like, oh, okay. So this is somebody that is probably going to be here. You know what I mean? He's not just somebody who made one video or two videos. Sometimes you'll see those guys that make one or two videos, and then you'll see guys who really want to have a career in this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, all right, so this is somebody who's actually got it going. You know what I mean? Crip Mac had everything going for him. Or I mean, shit, he still does have everything going for him. He just needs to figure out what he's gonna do with his whole situation. If he's gonna stay, doing what he's doing in life, repping what he's repping, or if he's gonna make the ascension and go to Hollywood. You know what I mean? What are his dreams? I've never watched an interview with this guy to really see what his dreams and his goals are in the music industry. Sometimes people just take off because of their image. You know what I mean? How they look. People are kind of like not in a sense of, like sometimes people are attracted to the way that people look, and they're like, damn, I want to see what dude or see what she's doing every single day. You know what I mean? I want to just follow up on them on social media every single day. They give me a laugh, or that girl is sexy as hell, or whatever the situation is, you know? Capital third letter C says, I smell a bigger opportunity ahead of him. So Crip Mac actually spoke out, man. He said, when you get with a program, cuz, and you start winning out here, cuz it ain't no winning in this situation. Let's go ahead and keep it 55th Street. So, no, I'm not mad at the shit that the shit got posted. I'm gonna let other MFers around the world know nobody is bigger than the program. Anyone can get put on their ass. That's Crip Mac speaking on it. I believe he was on IG Live speaking on it. So, like I said, the fact that he showed his face right after, the fact that he's not going to be afraid to keep showing his face, speaking to the people right now is going to take him a long way. You know, it's going to take him a long way. But he kind of broke it down there a little bit, man. You know, like when you start winning, it's when you're going to face all your adversity. You know, it's like I said in videos days back, you know, when you're doing 30,000 views, you know, a certain audience is seeing it. When you're doing a million views, you're going to you get to a whole new audience, man. You get to an audience who just might not understand you. They might not like you. They might want to get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? They might want your spot. You never know what it's going to be in a situation like this. Schizo says that he agrees. He thinks that Crip Mac will blow up more. He thinks he'll blow up more. I don't know what's in his future. You know, he's got quite a few head tattoos, face tattoos, excuse me, and they're different than, say, Little Wayne's. You know, as I was speaking on Little Wayne earlier, he has some tattoos of like, you know, sunglasses and like little words on his face. Rick Ross, I think, has like the state of Florida tattooed on. These are small tattoos. This guy has Hoover written over his head in big ass letters. You know what I mean? Like, is there going to be an opportunity for him to get some movie roles aside from in, you know, like say I Got the Hookup 3, Master P movie type joints? You know, what do you guys think? Is that not where he's going? Am I misinterpreting this situation? You know, in thinking that Hollywood is in his future? Is it more just the local community type things where he's getting little bags like that? Oh shit, Jason Voorhees is in the building. Yeah, he showed his face because he seen they were taking it, taping it, so he got ahead of the story. Yeah, that's another thing, man. You know, he wanted to be ahead of the story. He wanted to be ahead of them, you know. He's smart. He's smart for that. Uh what's that say? You're smart. You're smart. He's smart. He's very smart for that, but I mean, he just put himself out there. You know what I mean? He put himself out there. Everyone got the shock value. Maybe he got the views first, you know what I mean? So that was smart. That's how he beat it's called beating them to the punch. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to beat people to the punch. Lawrence in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, Lawrence. Man, they didn't need to do Crip Mac like that. You're right. They didn't, you know, but sometimes repping a group that you in the past did not rep, sometimes that will come back to bite you in the ass. I mean, in hip hop, we've seen it happen a few times, you guys. You know what I mean? We've seen it happen with like artists that were signed to Death Row that went on to sign with Aftermath or Interscope or you know what I mean? Or shit or Shady Records or from Death Row to G Unit or from you know what I mean? You know, from G Unit to Murder Inc. Wasn't 50 trying to sign Lloyd or something? No. Maybe 50 told Ashanti she could have a deal. We've seen things like this in the past where rappers will link up with rival groups. So it's not totally out of the realm of possibility. Let me see. Capital third letter C says a lot of his audience will have face tattoos. Also, the face tattoos will be normal life soon. Face tats are pretty much normal life, anyways. Now, capital third letter C. I look at the rappers and they're like, well, I've got my whole body tattooed, and my face, my head is pretty much just an extension of my body. Why can't I tap my face a little bit? Yeah, LeVar, I don't know if he could actually get rid of his face tattoos, bro. That's a pretty extensive thing to do. And his face tattoos are in such bold writing. It's bold, like how's he going to be able to get rid of that in reality? I don't know if it works like that, LeVar. XO King in the building, he said, what up? That shit is wrong, Mikey T. They did him dirty, but if you choose to bang, that's how it is. That's how it is. Homie, do that shit if you're, yeah, that's how it is. Like if you're going to get in with this group of guys, you know what I mean? And not be 100% truthful about what your life may have been in the past. There's an opportunity that one day, since you're now becoming a viral sensation, there's a big chance that one day when one of your guys gets on the computer, he's going to start researching a little bit of history, and he's going to find out some things about you that you don't want to find. I mean, hell, look what just happened to The Rock. Look what just happened to the people's champ from a statement that he made back in 2011, you guys. You know what I'm saying? They are taking things that these guys have done from years ago and they're bringing it up now to haunt them. A lot of people probably in Crip Mac's own set were probably jealous. You know what I mean? They're probably like, dude, why does he join and why does he get all the attention? Like, what the hell is that? Or you got in somebody else, yo, he's getting all this attention and now he's getting all this bread and he's not giving me any. You know what I'm saying? It could be, many of different situations happening. Yogi says, what happened with The Rock? Go just Google search it. The Rock controversy. Big Facts says, he don't care what people think of him. He is on the come up. I disagree with that, Big Facts, bro, because when you're on the come up is when you have to care what people think about you the most. You know what I'm saying? When you're on the come up, you have to care about what people think of you the most. That is when it is the most important for people to give a damn about you. I mean, look at the situation we got here, though. Wack 100, not clarifying any of these allegations, not wanting to spin the narrative. Wack 100 is going to be doing an interview with Crip Mac. Wack said that he be in his neighborhood. That's where he be. So if he got a DP, he got a DP for whatever it might have been. Ain't nobody going to know what the DP was really about unless you from the 55 neighborhood. And that's exactly why Wack 100, instead of taking another source from that actual neighborhood, he's going to go right to the straight source that was involved. He's going to go right to Crip Mac. He's going to get the information about what went down in the past. He's going to get all that information out of Crip Mac, and I got a feeling Crip Mac is going to be willing to tell him. So Wack 100 has his next big interview. He has his next big interview where he can clarify what is actually going on with Crip Mac and his set. And who better than Wack 100 to do it? You know what I mean? A lot of these guys aren't going to give all the interviews to people like me. You know what I mean? Just being real. You know what I mean? Some guys aren't going to give me the same interview that they'll give Wack 100. And it's I could say it's bullshit or whatever, but I understand it. Even though I've had rappers tell me that I literally did the best interview of their life, even though I've had interviews that have ended up in magazines, even though I've had interviews that have ended up on albums, still it doesn't matter. Like when you're a female, sometimes the artists are gonna open up to you a little bit more. You know what I mean? When you are somebody that comes from the same environment as them, you know what I'm saying? Obviously they're going to relate to you a little bit more. I mean, I know I grew up in the projects and shit like that, but they just find more relatability in some circumstances. Like Meek Mill never did an interview with me, but he did an interview with Taxstone. I don't know, maybe people probably compare my interviews with Taxstone a little bit different. Personally, I think I'm better than Taxstone. You know what I mean? But, Taxstone probably thinks he's better than me. Taxstone probably watched my shit back in the day. Don't know. But, like in this game, you're supposed to feel like you're the best. You know what I'm saying? Marcus, appreciate you for tapping in. At some point, we all care what people think. That's why you only post your best pictures online, etc. Yeah. Very true. That's something that was actually said the other day. I heard it said about Straight Drop, about how people be posting their best pictures. You always post the best moments of your life. You post the moments where you have the most cash, where you drive but do you always have that amount of cash? Are you always driving that car? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people do it to, for the perception that they're living that life all the time. You know what I mean? Pooh Black says, some people from the hood, not really from the hood. Some folks don't realize being from the hood is not a choice. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you're just born into it, Sometimes you're born where your parents live. You don't have a say in that. You don't have a say in where your parents live. Wack was the same one saying if you wasn't involved, you shouldn't be concerned. Now an interview. Well, bro. Now I'm smoking a Dutch, but Wack 100 has no choice but to do the interviews now, man. I feel like he probably thinks a lot of the people doing interviews aren't capable of the shit. You know what I mean? A lot of the times, a lot of people doing the interviews, they can't get the right stories out of people. So maybe Wack is needed in the interview, realm. I mean, shit, Nori doing interviews and Joe Budden and Gilly. It's been such a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? It's been such a breath of fresh air, man. And they actually do interviews about hip hop. They don't jump on here and talk about freaking all types of conspiracy theories and shit like that. You know what I mean? I come on here to hear about hip hop, man. I don't come on here to hear about, all the different shit that I don't even want to talk about. And you know what I mean? I'm not here to talk about Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? I'm here to talk about hip hop. I don't understand why some people like to do that. It's like they want to be CNN broadcasters or something like that. I don't want to work for CNN. You're not going to see me working for CNN. That's not the goal that I have here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be a network anchor. You know what I mean? Sorry, not what I'm trying to do. Don't know if that's everybody else's goal, but it's not me, man. So you're not going to see me talking about shit outside of hip hop. Just being real. Yeah, no, I'm not on Backwoods. I'm actually on Dutchess. Not on Backwoods. I need to get on some Backwoods though, to be honest with you. But I've been on Dutchess and Raws for the most part. Yeah. Yo, Gorilla Boss. I I'm not better than Taxstone. I'm not better than Taxstone. All right, let's talk about this Gorilla Boss. Did Taxstone interview Lil Wayne? Did Taxstone interview Yo Gotti? Yeah, Yogi, please get out of here, bro. I hate reading. I'm not going to read your comments no more. No other YouTuber will read your comments, Yogi. You know what I'm saying? So I regret reading your shit, man, since you're so easy to flip. You know what I'm saying? Yogi was not one of those people I was standing up for earlier on when I said all my followers have all the heart. Salute to you, Jay Brown. Shelton, let them know. Haters, get out. Goodbye, haters. Peace out, haters. Let me know, did Taxstone ask Ja Rule about why he decided to drop out of the Fast and Furious series? Taxstone do that one? I'm sorry. I know Taxstone is locked up right now, but I'm sorry, but Taxstone probably got his interview chops from me. Taxstone was probably watching my interviews and studying them shits. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being 100% real. I probably inspired Taxstone to want to do interview blogging. Just being 100% real. Bye, haters. Bye, haters. If you want to hate, man, if you want to hate, I'm not even gonna address it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even got to address it. Marquise. Appreciate you, man. He says, man, you don't have to run down your whole resume. Thank you, Pooh. Appreciate that, man. You always been solid from day one. People F's with you because you speak solid shit. Yeah, we've been speaking on Crip Mac the whole time, bro. You know, Charleston White had things to say about Crip Mac. Charleston White actually cried out in regard to Crip Mac. You know what I mean? He offered up himself for Crip Mac, you know. So it's good to see that Crip Mac is going to have some alliances he can fall back on. Wack 100 actually said he's going to have him on the show for an exclusive interview. So it looks like Crip Mac is not going to just be shunned from the industry. It looks like he's going to, you know, be given an opportunity. My man's from Barbados. I'm from Barbados. Tax is way bigger. Facts, no hating. Yeah, no, it's no debate over who's bigger. But I was doing interviews with celebrities and putting them on World Star Hip Hop when Taxstone wasn't doing shit. My interviews were on World Star doing 800,000 views when Taxstone wasn't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being 100% real. I'm just being like, you're in Barbados. My interviews are probably what inspired Taxstone to get involved in the culture. Hate to say it, but you know, I never get my flowers for shit like that. I remember one time I was at the same club with Taxstone, and I was like, said to my boy, make sure you introduce me to Taxstone. But we had to run out the club and go do an interview with Manolo Rose. You know what I'm saying? Taxstone was hosting that night. But I was the guy doing interviews that was on every single major website. I was on Hip Hop DX. I was on Hot New Hip Hop. I was on World Star Hip Hop. I was on Rap Radar. I was on every single major website, you guys. And Taxstone was never on those websites until later on. I'm the one who started all that shit. Love it or hate it, you know what I mean? A lot of these other bloggers weren't on none of those websites ever in their whole career. They could do an interview, but the news wouldn't even break on a single website. Every website was picking up my news. Every website, name it. Double XL, Baller Status, SOHH. Name the website. They had my news up there. Taxstone wasn't on that same shit. So this ain't no disrespect to Taxstone either. He should know what I've done in the game. He should know. If he doesn't know, then he's ignorant to the fact. I've been doing this shit since Taxstone was studying it. Someone's like, Mikey T, Taxstone's actually been in the game since 2005. Man, you're actually wrong about that. OG blogger. That's right. Hold on. Yeah, Taxstone became the voice of New York. I won't lie with that. I won't lie. He did become the voice of New York. But there was a point in time where I was more popping than Taxstone. There was a point in time when I was more popping than Wack 100. Just because I guess maybe a lot of people probably weren't following me in here. Hold on, I got to do some research now on this shit. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 2050. Yeah, 2015. 2015. 2015, and dudes is going to tell me. And dudes is going to tell me shit. And he got notoriety in 2015. I was on all the websites in 2009. I was on all the websites in 2010. I was on all the websites in 2011. I was making my first appearance on magazines in 2012. I was making my first appearance on albums in 2013, you guys. Like, I was on French Montana's album. I put the Max B interview on French Montana's album. I have 3-page spreads in Hip Hop Weekly magazine. Like, what are we even talking about here? Taxstone. They better call me Mikey Taxstone Senior. He's my junior. Everything that Charlemagne touches turns to gold. Why don't Charlemagne come touch this? Midas touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing this shit for far too long, man. LeVar says, I'm going to keep it a buck. I heard of you, but I wasn't following. Exactly, LeVar. I made sure that everybody out there could not help but read my name. That's what I did. I had to go out there and make sure that nobody could help. You had to see an article. You had to see something that had my name attached to it, because I took my interviews and I split them up into like 5 different pieces. And then we were on every different blog website. Charlemagne ain't goofy, bro. Charlemagne has the Midas touch, man. Charlemagne came over and touched this, we'd turn to gold as well. You know what I mean? But that's why I don't understand why I don't get my flowers in certain situations. You know what I mean? I really don't understand why I don't get my flowers in certain situations, because I've had rappers come to me and be like, Mikey T, that was the best interview that I ever did. You know what I mean? Shit, let me know what Taxstone interview was on an album. Somebody please let me know. I'll wait, because I was on Excuse My French. I started off the album. I was the album intro. So, dude from Barbados, I don't even think you knew that before you made your assessment. I don't think you knew that my voice was on French Montana's debut album. Taxstone on French Montana's debut album is Taxstone on anybody's album. I'm just being real, you guys. What other blogger is on somebody's album? None of them. None of them. Wallow's about to be on Conway's album. Yeah, I got to go on Drink Champs. I want to go on Math Hoffa's show. You know what I'm saying? Math Hoffa has a hell of a show. Mikey T, be patient. I am patient, man. That's why we're doing the YouTube thing, man. I feel like Max B right now. You know what I'm saying? When he left Dipset and Bird Gang, I feel like Max B right now. I feel like Max B in the underground circuit right now, because I'm getting bread. We're getting our attention. We're doing our numbers. We're making our history. You know what I'm saying? But we spoke on Crip Mac. We spoke on Wack, Charleston White. Let's speak on 50 Cent in the game, because the game has been speaking out ever since this news came out of 50, M, Dre, Snoop, the real aftermath, the real Interscope coalition getting together for the Super Bowl. And the game has sort of revealed some details. You know what I'm saying? He revealed some details about how Dr. Dre sided with Eminem and 50 Cent. I think this was an interview on Hip Hop DX, which is pretty crazy to think about it. Hip Hop DX interviews with the game. You know what I mean? Mikey T connect with Hassan. Do you? We good. Hell yeah. Mikey T, I always knew of you. Gorilla Boss, appreciate that, man. Mikey T, get in the booth. The industry is blackballing you. I heard that Max B interview. Hell yeah, James Brown. I appreciate you giving me my flowers, bro. That's what makes me be so consistent with this shit, man. Because I know we're here. I know the people aren't just ignoring us, man. They want to. You know what I mean? But who doesn't? Everybody wants to ignore shit until it's, breaking down their door, standing right in front of their face. There ain't nothing wrong with what we're doing, man. We ain't taking the elevator. We ain't even taking the escalator. We're taking the stairs. I might have to get in the booth. Man, because this shit is getting on my nerves. The fact that Taxstone gets everything that I deserve. You know what I'm saying? This shit is really, really making me want to do something. You know what I mean? Something artistic. You know what I mean? Like jump in the booth and show y'all how I can dish this shit out to some of these other bloggers. You know what I mean? But that's every blogger's wish. But you know what? I never really looked at myself as a blogger. I'm the king of the bloggers. The king of the bloggers. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Mikey T connect with Hassan. That would be lit. I heard of Mikey T before Vlad, but Vlad's been doing this shit for a mean minute. Yeah, man. So 50 Cent in the game, right? So the game had dropped his first album on Aftermath, the album was originally going to be called NWA, but they had to rename it. So they recalled it The Documentary. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think the game's debut album would have been better called The Documentary or NWA? Personally, I was excited when I knew it was called NWA, because it was different. NWA was a group, the game was a solo artist, so I really wanted to see what he could, do. But ultimately, the documentary is something that is really stuck in our minds more, I think. You know what I mean? It's something that's a little bit more mainstream friendly. The album sold all over Best Buy and, Walmart and shit like that. So LeVar says, didn't the Dre pass game 250? Well, Dr. Dre was working with the game on the NWA solo album. You know what I'm saying? And then it wasn't really working. Which is kind of why I think Dr. Dre would stick with 50 anyways, because this project with the game was not working. It wasn't going anywhere. So he brought in 50 Cent. He said, you know what? I'm messing with G Unit. I'm just speculating here, but I figured Dr. Dre, back in those days, I really thought Dr. Dre was going to have more to do with G Unit. It was Shady Aftermath and now G Unit. So I think that's why Game was brought to 50 Cent by Dre. Like, yo, let's bring a West Coast representation. You got the South now. You brought Buck on. Let's bring the Game. And the Game got an album release literally 4 months after Young Buck. Young Buck dropped in September. The Game dropped in January. Once G Unit put its name on the Game, he didn't have to wait for shit, especially when 50 gave him those two singles, though, Hate It or Love It and This Is How We Do. You know what I mean? My guy Alan Watt says documentary. Now, Joseph, was it the game that was it 50 Cent that blackballed the game, or was it Interscope? Because after the game's first album, he was moved over to Geffen Records. Yeah, he was moved over to Geffen, you guys, and he was taken out of the main equation. He was kind of taken out of the main equation with 50 Cent, M and Dre, you know? Jimmy Iovine ran the whole label, but he knew that the cream of the crop was Eminem. That's where they were making all their money until they came up with Beats by Dre. Dr. Dre obviously knew Eminem had a really, really tight relationship with 50 Cent. Eminem's relationship with 50 Cent is something that is still lasting this day. Like if 50 ever needs Eminem to come out for a public appearance, it seems like Eminem will do it. I mean, shit, he even appeared in 50 Cent's movie as White Boy Rick, right? So Dre made his decision. You know what I'm saying? Dre made his decision because Dre really stepped out of the game's following projects. We haven't really seen them reunite in a really major fashion. Let me bring up the Doctor's Advocate here, the second album. And the game spoke on this album in the interview, speaking on the fact that they still let him do the album because of the fact that he actually had major success with the documentary. The documentary came out and it sold 500 plus thousand units in a week. A label would be crazy. A label would be absolutely crazy not to, reinvest in the game's project. Now, as far as the reinvestment with the game having, oh, excuse me, guys, just kicked my shit by accident. As far as the game having, I don't know if he had the same deal as G Unit, because Buck, Banks, and Yayo, when they were going to start working on their next album, I had heard 50 say in an interview that they each got 750,000. Maybe the game was on that same pay plan. But that's a whole lot of money. That's a whole lot of an advance to really get just to do an album, you guys. So I can't lie, I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm pretty impressed with that. But the game is more impressive than just that money, because the game actually put out music that went on to sell. I mean, the Doctor's Advocate didn't actually do as much business as the documentary. This album actually sold quite a bit in its first week, though. I don't know if you've heard me speak on it, but he sold over 360,000 units in his first week of, the Doctor's Advocate. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that they really let him down on LAX. LAX came out and it sold, 220,000 units or something. Oh, LeVar, that's a good point. I spoke on that the other day. With the game actually linking back up with Beanie Siegel. We were touching on that the other day with my guy SV Twiz. And so the game was always trying to throw shots at Hove. He was trying to really get Jay-Z to start a beef with him, to start a lyrical warfare with him. But Jay-Z, I don't think ever budged on that. Yep, Jay-Z did not budge on that. He ain't gonna go to war with 50 Cent's relatively 50 Cent soldier at the time. Am I right, guys? A lot of people just looked at the game like he was a G Unit soldier. But the game poked fun at the Jay-Z for a number of years. All right, let me get this thing rolled up so I can let y'all know how this Sticky Buns is smoking. Again, what's everybody smoking in the chat? What y'all blazing tonight? What's everybody smoking, man? I want to know what everybody's smoking on tonight, man. We're talking hip hop news. We're talking rapper weed. About to let y'all know what this Sticky Buns is hitting for. Game knew to shut his mouth. Joseph, the game didn't know when to shut his mouth. Because I was going to say, with the game actually selling all those units, some shit. With the game selling all those units, I could see Interscope didn't want to let him go. I mean, we all saw what happened. The press conference, they made 50 Cent in the game get back together. They made him shake hands in front of the whole world. You know what I mean? We saw what happened. Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre and Eminem, they really wanted that thing to work. I could only imagine what the G Unit Terminated on Sight album would have been with the game on it. Would it have even been called Terminated on Sight? LeVar said, and that was backwards because he was throwing shots at Hove but didn't want to join the battle against the Locks. Yeah, man. But 50 never really started a battle with Jay-Z like that. Like that was actually real. They had thrown a couple shots. You know what I mean? If I shoot you, I'm famous. If he shoots me, he's brainless. You said it yourself. Nice. Appreciate you for tapping in. What's popping with you, man? See, Game has an album about to drop and he needs a little press. Yeah, nah. Game has a new album, Drillmatic, that he's working on. It looks like he's got Kanye West on it. Looks like he's got Beans on it. I'm really excited to see this new album, man. I wasn't really too into the last one. I believe it was called Born to Rap. I wasn't really too into the Born to Rap album, but the last album I was really in tune with from the game was the documentary 2. I was in tune what was going on before the doc. Actually, no, scratch that. Sorry, guys. I was into the 1992 album. I like the way he promoted that. The old school feel to it. Yep. So I was actually into a game album as soon as 2016, 1992. But Born to Rap, I did not get into, you guys. Let me see if I even recognize any of the singles from this. $500 Candles with Dom Kennedy, Dead Homies with Red Cafe. Nah, none of this is really resonating with me. Maybe Stay Down with Bryson Tiller. Nah, I'm not remembering any of these joints that the game did on his album called Born to Rap. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight, man. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. It's unfortunate what happened to Crip Mac, but he's getting a lot of support, man. Charleston White cried out for him. Charleston White did a whole video speaking on him, and Charleston White has the whole internet on lock right now. Wack 100 also said he is going to do an interview with him. You know what I mean? So even after all the allegations, even after what happened, even after getting exposed in his own hood, Wack 100 is still going to bring him on the podcast, which I think is a good thing. It shows that Crip Mac has an opportunity to, keep his career going, man. LeVar says, I F's with the game, though. Yeah, man. When did you fall out from the game, LeVar, or have you been riding the whole time? Because like I said, I was really in tune when the game was building up for the documentary 2. Like he had a couple albums leading up to the documentary 2. I think it was called Year of the Wolf. You know what I mean? And then he dropped the documentary 2. And then I didn't hear about the documentary 2.5 for some reason. but I heard about 1992 because of the way that he was promoting it on social media, the way that he used that throwback picture. That was in 2016. I wonder if, I don't know, I guess it was Kendrick Lamar who started off that whole thing with the throwback pictures, right? Salute to Brownsville. What's popping? Brownsville in this bitch tonight. Trooper Sykes, what's popping with you, G's? Major salute, man. Major salute to you for tapping in, man. That's love. That is absolute love for the tap in, man. So 50 Cent obviously made it hard on Dr. Dre, when this whole situation with the game come up, because the game wanted to have another successful artist. That's why he brought the game to 50 Cent. He wanted to, have another hit under his belt. He didn't want the game project to fail. So I can understand him bringing the game over to it, but Dr. Dre definitely got put in between these guys at a certain point in time. You know what I mean? Where Dr. Dre sort of had to choose, I think. I think Dr. Dre sort of had to choose. And I think back then it kind of came off like he chose nobody. It kind of came off like he chose nobody back then. But now we clearly see, with the level of success that 50 Cent has, how do I put this? With the level of success that 50 Cent has managed to hold on to, and with the the unanimous success that Eminem and Dr. Dre have always had, that seems to be the better click to stick with. You know what I mean? That seems to be the better click to stick with. Now, will they ever get the game and 50 Cent back together? Will the 50 Cent beef with the game ever be over? I don't even know if Dr. Dre and Eminem could fix the beef. I don't even know if they could, man. They've tried. They've tried to fix it. I don't think we're ever going to get the album. Yup, the game lost in the situation. He didn't have to do it either, man. But I don't think the game was content playing the foot soldier. I don't think the game was content playing. What up, Haran the Don? Appreciate you for tapping in, G's. I don't think the game was really content playing the same role that Buck and Banks and Yale were playing. Not to say that Buck was content playing that role either, because Buck was a wild dude who spent money very, very, very frivolously. You know what I mean? Young Buck wanted the world. I see the same things in Yale as well. Lloyd Banks was a little more laid back and chill, though. You know what I'm saying? He's a little more laid back and chill and shit. Yeah, Scam Reno. He says the game wasn't no follower. He has always been a leader. Yeah. And probably a little bit of nudging from Jimmy Henchman. A little bit of nudging from Jimmy Henchman. Yo, game, you done sold 500,000 records first week. You're just as big as 50. You don't need to be on this wagon no more. LeVar says the game and 50 are cool now. Well, how cool are they really? Doesn't look like they're performing together. Doesn't look like they're doing the Super Bowl commercial together. I'm just pointing out real facts. Maybe they're aight, cool. That's another story. Maybe the game and 50 are aight, but I'm not going to say they're cool, man. Not going to say they're cool. A lot of allegedlys. You know what I mean? There's a lot of allegedlys in that situation. Allegedly, a drink was spilled. Allegedly, there was a scuffle. But there's no allegedlys when it comes to the game dismantling G Unit piece by piece by piece. Millie says, they cordial. Exactly. They're all right. They all right. They're cordial. Cool? I don't know. Big Fact says, game done changed a lot. Game has changed a lot. The game has changed a lot. Let me see. In regard to what? The game we have known to be the type of artist who slug somebody at a moment's notice. So do you mean he's changed from that? Young Jeezy got blackballed. He got talent. I don't know if Young Jeezy got blackballed, man. Young Jeezy, I think, is just starting a family right now and doing his thing, man. Congrats to Young Jeezy. Haram the Don says the game showed that he can't be trusted. 1 minute it's I'm sorry, the next minute he makes diss tracks. Yeah, I don't think we ever heard the game diss Eminem. We don't think we ever heard the game diss Dr. Dre. So that says something. You know what I mean? That says something in regard to maybe the puzzles getting put that back together. But like the game was talking about, Dr. Dre had to make a choice, and that choice not only was Eminem, but that choice would come with 50 Cent as well. Eminem in the game, I don't think had the best relationship, even though M was on the game's debut album. You know what I mean? Even though the game was on, or the game had Eminem on his debut album, I think that was more of a favor to Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? 50 and M talk about each other to this day. I've never really in interview format heard Eminem ever speak on the game. I've even seen Eminem jump in videos with Lloyd Banks. So that says something right there, you guys. Eminem has been more, interested in promoting the career of Lloyd Banks. I think that could go back to their lyrical capability as well. Lloyd Banks has an amazing lyrical capability. The game, his first album, he was sort of rapping about all the other rappers. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Eminem heard that and made a decision based on that. But I mean, they both have different styles of what they're rapping about, man. And Eminem being a total music, head, maybe that made him a little bit more interested in working with Banks than the game. But that's not what really, made a fork in the road for them. The relationship of Eminem, that's not really what divided 50 Cent in the first place. You know what I mean? But, when the game breaks up with 50 Cent, the guy like 50 Cent, when the game breaks up with 50 Cent, a guy like 50 Cent is going to divide everything. He's going to make Dr. Dre choose. He's going to make Eminem. Eminem, it wasn't really much of a choice. Dr. Dre was kind of, the game was Dr. Dre's baby. You know what I mean? That was not so much as like a Snoop Dogg project or like the Eminem or when they really, helped 50 Cent. These are icons. I mean, you could kind of put the game in the same category, you know what I mean? But I just got to say I guess it looks like Dr. Dre was a little bit more interested in 50's product. Let's look at this. So the Doctor's Advocate drops in 2006. And is there any Dr. Dre production on it? Let's see. Producers. He's got Reefa, D-Rock, Just Blaze, Scott Storch, Swiss Beats. Wouldn't Get Far, produced by Kanye West, J.R. Rodham, High Tech, Jelly Roll, Mr. Porter, Just Blaze, Will I Am. Wow, pretty crazy. There's no Dr. Dre on the second album. There's no Dr. Dre on the second album whatsoever. They kept their distance. I got a feeling that Dr. Dre might have thought the game wasn't going to take off again. He might have thought the game wasn't going to do no numbers. When in reality, if Dr. Dre would have jumped on the project, this album would have done more numbers. It did 360,000 in its first week. So I don't think that was a good move on Dr. Dre's part, not messing with the game's second album. But I mean, obviously, in retrospect, it doesn't really matter. The Dr. Dre has made it to where is at this point. But I think that was really not good for the game's album because a lot of people probably bought it not knowing technically what everything was going to be. On the documentary, you look at the Dr. Dre, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 or 8 tracks here on the documentary one. But what is going to be a really interesting note what a really interesting note is going to be is Dr. Dre's involvement on Curtis. That's one thing I'm interested in going to check out. Dr. Dre was not on. Dr. Dre was not on the third album either. You guys, wow. Dr. Dre was not even on the Game's third album that was released in 2008. So I gotta say, I think the Game was probably feeling a way about that, man. The Game had to feel alone at this point, even though he's surrounded by a who's who of production. I mean, you've heard I'm listing out Scott Storch, I'm listing out Will I Am. He's surrounded by a who's who of production, but honestly, man, I gotta think that he's feeling a certain way. Peace and love. Salute Fuji. Scott Storch did work under Dr. Dre, so maybe he could have gotten that sound. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons that people would go work with Scott Storch back in the day, because he was heavily influenced by Dr. Dre. Hell yeah, 100%. So let's look at the Curtis album, you guys. This is going to be interesting to me. I want to know, I got a feeling Dre at least put one beat for Curtis, and it's the one that I don't like. It's actually the Dr. Dre feature. No, Dr. Dre did 2 records. Dr. Dre did Fire with Young Buck. How crazy is that? And then he did Come and Go, which he also featured on. So you're telling me, 50, you take the joint Fire. He took Young Buck's single. 50 took Young Buck's single, you guys. This album was released September 11th, 2007. Young Buck's album, Get Buck, was released in 2007, March. Are you telling me right now that single Fire, that Young Buck was like, I'm going to take these bricks and break them down. If you want, I could tell you by the pound. I'm working with. Yeah, and then they had Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls on the record. How the hell was that not Young Buck's lead single for Get Buck? For the Get Buck the World? You got to be kidding me right now. I'm just seeing this. You already know. Appreciate you, Joseph. Business ties. Game spoke on it back then. In relation to what, capital third letter C? So everybody sided with 50 Cent in the situation. And guys, I'm not going to lie, based on what's going on with the Super Bowl, it looks like everybody's still siding with the same group. 50, M, and Dre were called the 3-headed monster for a reason, you guys. You know what I mean? It wasn't the 4-headed monster. It wasn't the 5-headed monster, if you want to even add in Jimmy Iovine and the Game. It was the 3-headed monster. That's what we said. It was 50, it was Dr. Dre, and it was Eminem, y'all. As good as the Game was, he really couldn't infiltrate that circle. You know what I mean? I mean, he is great. You know what I mean? He had the most success. He had more success than any of the other G Unit guys. He's right under M and Snoop and 50. You know what I mean? He's right under those guys. You know what I mean? But that's already 3 guys. You know what I mean? There's only but so much room for the Mount Everest, if you will, of Aftermath. You know what I'm saying? The Mount Everest of Interscope. And I'm sorry, Game, but there's not enough space for you, man. It's Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? It's Snoop D-O-double-G. It's Eminem. It's 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? These are the guys that I think are the Mount Rushmore of the Dr. Dre products, man. Did the 50 Cent beef with the Game? Did it have issues with Dr. Dre? Of course it did. We all know it did. We read about it over the years. We read about it over the years. We saw what happened. We saw 50 Cent kind of put Dre in a position where, he would kind of look at him crazy if he, worked with the Game. And evidently, We didn't see Dr. Dre work with the Game on the Doctor's Advocate, LAX, which is pretty ridiculous. You know what I mean? I'm surprised the Game didn't have any throwaway records still. But I mean, I imagined he wouldn't have been able to release them. They would have cut them off the album, you know? Ooh, that's rough, capital third letter C, but I do remember that as well. You know, the Game spoke on it, and capital third letter C says here in the comment, he said, although he really wanted a Dr. Dre beat, he understood the position Dre was in. So no love was lost, allegedly. Yeah, the Game, like I said, never publicly dissed Dr. Dre. The Game, to my knowledge, never publicly dissed Eminem. That is very strategic. You know what I mean? You don't diss the people who are really going to be friends at the end of the day. You just don't involve yourself in it. You know what I mean? Like the Lil Wayne and Birdman situation. At the end of the day, they're going to have a very similar relationship to what they always did have. And we're going to be on the outside looking in. You know what I mean? So to involve yourself in somebody else's situation like that, it's just not the smartest thing you could do. You know, sometimes you got to let things resolve themselves. That showed growth from the Game. Yeah, growth in what manner, Millies? The fact that he didn't just go ape shit and diss everybody in the whole label. Well, I mean, you got to understand he was still signed with Interscope. You know, he still had to put out, I think, three. Like he had to put out the Doctor's Advocate, LAX, Red Nation, and Jesus Piece, all with Interscope. So if he really started dissing his label, kind of similar to how 50 did, you know, when 50 called out Jimmy Iovine and shit, I think he would have been in a world of trouble. You know what I mean? I think he would have been in a world of trouble. He would have never been able to release those albums. He probably would have been in a situation more similar to what we see Young Buck going through right now with 50 Cent, where 50 just denies every single one of his albums. You know what I mean? Every single one of his albums, every single one of his albums, 50 Cent just denies. Like they have that position to do that with the Game. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Game is smart. Yeah, go at 50. You know, we've heard guys like Tony Yayo say it. Any artist that goes at 50 is going to get the most promotion in your career. Ooh, Apex. Salute, brother. He said, remember, Dr. Dre went to a club and presented Rick Ross with a very expensive watch. I believe it was a Hue Bowl. A Hue Bowl. I don't know if I'm saying that right. You know, I ain't rich yet, you guys. I ain't rich yet. And they started working together after Ross beef with 50. Yeah. And, you know, I think that was more of a thing of talent, you know? And also, that was, I want to say that was in 2012. I want to say that was in 2012, you guys. Let me get that exact date for you guys because I do remember what track you're talking about. I want to say you're talking about Three Kings, the Three Kings track with Dr. Dre and Jay-Z. Three Kings, Dr. Dre and Jay-Z, that actually released in 2012. In 2012, it was pretty evident that 50 Cent's stronghold on the music game was over. Yup, Jake won. Scam says, I think in relation to the Game, at least we know Dre wasn't on his album because of the money. He just wasn't effing with him for some type of reason. Well, the type of reason was that 50 Cent in the Game beefing ruined everything. You know, the reason is 50 Cent in the Game beefing, and just because, you know, they're beefing, like, that doesn't mean you still don't got to choose your side. Like, look what happened when dude was presented with the Hollywood Star. 50 was presented with the Hollywood Star. He brought Eminem and Dr. Dre out. You know what I mean? So it's evident who the group is. You know what I mean? But honestly, man, if they would have put like $2 million on the table, I don't know. Like I said, I think Dr. Dre thought without 50 Cent, Game's second album was going to tank, but it ended up selling 360,000 units first week. He ended up selling 360,000 units first week, and if Dre would have participated, he probably would have sold another 100,000 first week. So, that's just missing out on a plaque, in my opinion. What do you mean in regard to what, Scam Reno? Yep, Rick Ross came out with his song Three Kings, and it was on the album God Forgives I Don't. Yep, 100%. Let me open it up though, you guys. We got through both of our topics, man. I feel like we covered a lot of ground on this 50 Cent and Game beef that involved Dr. Dre. A lot of things that I think we've been thinking over the years, probably talked about with our friends and shit like that. There's a lot more to it. I would love to hear Dre talk about it one day. What I was going to say is when Game and 50 started beefing, I think it kind of reminded Dre of the whole death row shit. And it kind of threw him off to the point where he's like, yo, I'm not going to be involved with this. I'm going to go make some more great music. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool on that. 50 and Game together with Dr. Dre and M and all of G Unit, that was really like some Beatles shit. Have we seen it written like that before? It really was like that. Dre stepped out, man. Dre stepped out of the situation. I feel like Game kind of put him in the position though. So Game couldn't be mad at Dr. Dre. Game put Dre in that position because of dissing 50 Cent when it all comes down to it. That's the real truth of it, you guys. And Game got blackballed to a certain extent. But I mean, Joe, how can you really say he was blackballed when he released 4 more albums on Interscope Records? And then they granted him his release, and then he went on to E1, Koch and E1 Records to release another 4 albums. So how can you really say the Game was blackballed? They didn't stop him from releasing his albums. You know what I mean? They didn't really stop him from releasing his albums like 50 has done to Young Buck. And we've seen other people, get caught up in the stream of never being able to release an album. Yeah, you're right. Scamrino saying I was talking about Game and Dr. Dre, and they're from Compton, and that should matter. You're right. And that's why it mattered. That's why the Game took on, or Dr. Dre took on the Game's project in the first place. That's why when Dr. Dre probably saw that the Game's project wasn't going where he would hope, he actually attached 50 Cent to it, man. I gotta say that Dr. Dre did try to show the love to Compton because it was Compton. Shelton says, what do you think about Jay-Z versus Jadakiss? I think it's a mismatch. You know what I mean? I don't think Jadakiss should really be up there with Jay-Z. I don't really want to see that, man. I don't really want to see that right there, just to be honest with you, man. I don't think it's I think Jay-Z's albums far outweigh Jadakiss's albums. Jadakiss hasn't really had the opportunity to release his albums in succession like I think he would have. Jay-Z has had far more, probably double plus a couple more albums than Jadakiss. Maybe if you add in all the D Block albums and shit like that, you could say he's just got double. But I don't want to see Jay and Jadakiss, man. Jadakiss is a little bit too much of a, he's throwing barbs right now. I want to see him against somebody like that. Jay is too situated and sat up, chilling. I want to see him against somebody else of that nature. You know what I mean? And not against Birdman. It's not going to be against Birdman. It actually needs to be against somebody that could rap. You know what I mean? Let me see. Drake could see his future. He wasn't letting his hood shit stand in his way. Grown men mentality. Yeah, you know what I mean? Capital, third letter C. Like Dre looking at M, looking at 50, looking at Game. Each of those artists easily $1 billion artists. You know what I mean? But Dre and Jimmy Iovine, they said, listen, man, if they're going to F up this paper, we're going to go and we're going to focus on what brought us to the game in the first place, the Dr. Dre sound. That's what people love about all three of these artists. They love that Dr. Dre sound. So let's do that. Let's go back to the drawing board and let's focus on what has brought us to the dance. And they went in on Dre and they made $3 billion in one shot rather than needing three artists to do it. Just perspective, man. Just my perspective. LeVar says, I want to see an official 50 Cent feature with Jay-Z. That's what I wish they could have done in the early 2000s. Yeah, man. It would have been cool if Jay-Z would have drumped on like a 50 Cent song from back in the day. But 50 Cent disrespected him, man. 50 Cent kind of disrespected him, and then Jay-Z sent his shot. You know what I mean? Jay-Z sent his shot, and then Jay-Z apparently let the Rockefeller boys know he let them know, like, yo, this guy's coming. 50 Cent's coming. But Petey Crack had told me, I think Petey Crack told me he didn't remember hearing that or some shit. But listen, I'm going to open it up. If anybody has any open questions, send them in. If anybody wants to send in a super chat to send some love, that'd be dope. You know what I mean? I do this for y'all, this channel. You know what I'm saying? All my interviews, all these live discussions, I do this for y'all. I hope the appreciation is reciprocated. I'm about to spark up on some of this sticky buns, man. I want everybody in here to follow me on the gram. If you're not following me already, I want you to follow me right now, and I will follow y'all back. I'm going to follow everybody back that follows me back right now. What do you think about a Jay-Z versus Andre 3000? Andre 3000 is one of my favorite rappers, but I think him and Jay-Z is just, I don't think that's it, bro. I don't think that one's not it, man. You know what I'm saying? Mate, we got a different idea. Let's get a different idea. I don't think Jay-Z and Outkast is the one. Let me think. I'm trying to think of who Jay-Z should go with a versus with. Oh, yeah. Round and round. No. Yeah, Shelton, you might not be wrong about that. You might not be wrong about that. Like I said, Jadakiss has the barbs right now, man. I'm not talking about Nicki Minaj's fan base. He's got them barbed wire lyrics right now, man. He's got that shit that pierce. You know what I'm saying? He's got that shit that pierce you, man. But I want everybody on here to follow me, man. Everybody that follows me, I will follow you guys back immediately. Slapface is available on Shudder right now. If y'all want to see that joint, I'm in the movie. I'm not starring in it. I do have a brief cameo. Yeah, LeVar says it's only 2 or 3. Lil Wayne, Eminem, or Nas. Nick Miller shares that. He says Nas is the best opponent. Blueprint Sports, appreciate you for tapping in, man. He says, who would you want to see Corrupt in a versus with? Corrupt is one of my favorites, man. It would have to be Corrupt and Daz. It would have to be Dog Pound. You know what I'm saying? It would have to be a Dog Pound battle versus, like, I would like to see Dog Pound versus G Unit. That would be cool. You know, you'd have Snoop, you'd have Corrupt and Daz, and then you'd have 50 Banks and Yayo. I think that would be a cool one right there. Yeah, 3 stacks isn't enough. Solo joints. Yeah, it's more like, that's why you got to go with Outkast for that one. You know, you got to do a good duo run right there with Outkast. D Block versus G Unit. DP versus the Outlaws. DP, Dead Prez. Are you talking about Dead Prez, bro? I think that'd be lit. Yeah, DPG. Remember, it was supposed to be the DPG unit. You know, that's kind of what just hit my mind. Don't you guys remember Snoop and 50 Cent were actually forming a group, and it was going to be called the DPG unit? And plus, it's 3 members. You know what I mean? If you're not including Young Buck, I think Young Buck would be kind of tight about that. Young Buck would be like, hold on, so you're telling me you're going to keep me in contract, but you're not going to let me appear on the verses with you? Like, that is some bullshit, man. You're gonna say I owe you something. Well, yo, you got to take what I'm gonna get paid, and take a little cut of that. Buck will be smart about it, man. Buck was on that versus stage last time, and I bet you we're gonna see him on it again, man. I don't know about a solo capacity, man. Yeah, that's a good one right there, bro. That's a good one right there, man. That's a good one right there, man. I like the idea of that, man. The West Side Connection. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, the West Side Connection is a good thought. You got Mac 10 and Ice Cube, as well as WC. Yeah, in retrospect, yeah, if we could ever got that. But I think that one's good right there because you got Cube, you got Snoop, you got Corrupt, you got Mac 10, you got Daz, you got WC. That one actually matches up a lot better. Yeah, Glurko agrees with you. I think I agree. That one actually matches up a little bit better. But 50 Cent G Unit, yo, does any blogger smoke more gas than me? Does any blogger smoke more gas than me? I was just wondering. I don't think so. I don't think so, man. I don't think no blogger smoked this much Kush. I don't think no blogger smoked this much Kush. Eminem versus Ice Cube. Yeah, they were just saying Eminem versus Busta Rhymes. That one was actually a pretty good idea. That one's actually a pretty good idea. And let me tell you, man. If they get Eminem signed onto a versus, though, I'm just saying, I think it's gonna be another situation with T.I. and Jeezy to where, like, I bet you the opponent. Actually, let me stop myself right there. I got a lot of love for Busta Rhymes, man. We almost had a conversation. Busta Rhymes almost put me on my ass one time, you guys. But you ain't getting the story unless I get a super chat. I'll do it in another video one day. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it in another video one day when I got my deal with whatever company I end up signing with, and we'll bring in Busta Rhymes and we could talk about what happened with me and him. It'll be amazing. I'm trying to catch up, but no blogger. Beans versus Jada LeVar. Come on, man. No Limit versus Cash Money. I seen another one. Terror Squad versus G Unit. Yeah, y'all are saying some good ones. No. Come on, Millies. Come on, bro. Really? You're going to do that to me right there? I'm just saying everybody's doing good choices, and you come with Eminem versus Little White. Little White is my dog. Don't get me wrong. Little White is sweet, but come on, we need to put Little White against somebody else, man. Like Little White versus Paul Wall. You know what I mean? Little White versus like Zero. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one of them cats from Texas or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Little White versus give me somebody else, man. Give me somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Little White versus like somebody from Texas or something like that, bro. But not Little, we got to give him somebody in his range. You know what I mean? Who could we do? But Little White is dope, man. He's got some hits. I'm from Connecticut. Yeah, Southern versus Bubba Sparks versus Paul Wall. I don't think Bubba Sparks has more than one record, bro. I think we talked about this actually, LeVar, when we were comparing them to. Yeah, I don't think. No disrespects to Bubba Sparks, but I don't think he really has more than one or two records, maybe three. And then somebody's like, "Well, Mikey T, Paul Wall only has 3 records too. Yeah, but that's 3 records that I can name off the top of my head. That's what a lot of people talking about Little Flip. Like, yeah, okay, Little Flip has a few records you can name off the top of your head, but like he made a lot of records and it would depend on where they did the verses. You know what I mean? Like in a lot of these, like people were like, yo, Cassidy battle is going to be so hype in Philly. You know what I mean? Because he's in Philly, and in this situation, if when Little Flip is in Texas doing the verses, all those people are going to know all the songs he's playing in the verses, you guys. Just because somebody from Connecticut or somebody from New York or somebody from, what I mean, Massachusetts or Philly or Jersey or even Virginia, a little bit deeper, doesn't know every record from Little Flip, depending on where the verses is, it's going to hit. Basil Allen, what's popping with you, man? Tonight, I'm smoking on some exotic cookies. You don't know what I'm smoking yet? I'm smoking on sticky buns tonight. That's what I'm blazing, man. Some sticky buns tonight, man. Yeah, capital third letter. I had said that. I had said that. Little White and DJ Paul. Yep. Ugly and the joint with Jadakiss, but he also had a joint too where he was totally off the ugly vibe. You know what I mean? He was in a totally different vibe. CT stand up. CT is in this bitch. Connecticut Clips. Oh, you be doing cuts, man? You got it. You got something for me, bro? You can do me a cut. What's up? Let me know what you think. What about a verses where producers go at it? A verses where producers get at it. Let me think. I have a couple of my favorite producers, man. I mean, in the chat, what producers would you guys like to see go at it in a verses? I know there's a couple different producers that I'm actually messing with that I would like to see maybe do something like that, like Murda Beats, for instance. You know what I mean? Scott Storch coming back representing the old school of it. There's a couple different people. I mean, you could even bring in Red Spider from the G Unit days. You know what I'm saying? All types of shit, man. You could do all types of shit with it, really, man. Now, what would make that better, right? Yeah, Manny Fresh and Scott Storch actually did one, I believe. But Swizz versus Timbo need to set it off with that one if they haven't already. Maybe they already have. Alchemist versus Scott Storch, Timbaland versus Pharrell. And you want to know what would be an even bigger aspect of it? Say I was like a coordinator, like maybe like Irv Gotti versus Scott Storch would be dope too. But if I was like a coordinator, I would say that the producers need to actually bring out the artist to perform the song. Get 10 different artists to come out and do their sets and do 10 on 10. Irv Gotti against whoever. Mike Will. Yup, Mike Will made it. Hell yeah, bro. Hitmaker versus Zaytoven. Hitmaker, that's my dog, man. Young Berg, that's my bro right there. Can they do Dre and Guru? I don't think that one's gonna happen, LeVar, but keep your expectations, man. It's good to see you with expectations. Shit. I think they need to limit it to 10. Am I tripping, you guys? Like, should they limit it to 10 because of the amount of guests that producers would have to bring out? Or should they just, I mean, they got locker rooms, they've got trailers for artists to hang out in. Should they just keep it to the 20 like regular? But I think this is a big thing. But before that, and plus bringing out the artists to perform with the producers, that's going to set you up for your next versus battles as well. Yeah, just an idea I was kicking around right there. Just Blaze versus Hitmaker, Mike Dean versus DJ Toomp, Zaytoven versus Nitty Beats. Irv Gotti didn't do any beats. Irv Gotti's got a hell of a sound, bro. Irv Gotti's got it's murder. INC. London on the track. Yep. Scam Reno, 100%. London on the track. Can we get Chief Keef versus Cassidy in a beats battle? What do you guys think? Chief Keef versus Cassidy in a beats battle? Can that happen? Because I know Chief Keef produced some shit from his album, and I know that Cassidy produced a bunch of joints from his album as well. Kanye versus anybody, but let's capital third letter C. Let's really think about an opponent for Kanye, man. Let's really think about who Kanye could face. Let's not just say Kanye versus anybody. Let's actually, ponder that for a second. Who would be a good person for Kanye West to face off with right now when it comes to production? Kanye West would actually limit the amount of guests that would be needed to come out as well. So that's a major aspect of it. I don't think it would be Kanye West versus Hitmaker. I don't think that one would really work. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Kanye West versus Hitmaker would really work. Would Kanye West versus Manny Fresh work? Am I barking up the right tree? Oh, boom, right there. Kanye West versus Swiss Beats. Right there. You hit it. You hit it, Steve. You got it before me, bro. You typed that in before I said it. You got that, Steve. Kanye West versus Swiss Beats. That's it right there. I love that one right there. Obviously, AC Spence, yeah. Kanye West versus Dr. Dre. Kanye West versus Dr. Dre, yeah. Yep. Timbo versus Kanye West. Cameron, more in like a versus style. We're talking Tanya. We're talking producers right now, though. What would be your favorite producer versus battle, Tanya, if you got to pick one? Oh, the Heat Makers, man. Yeah, the Heat Makers, my brother. Arsonist. Arsonist, one of the coldest producers ever to do music in the game. Let me think. Arsonist. Who could we put Arsonist against? Kanye versus Ninth Wonder. Kanye versus Pharrell would be amazing. Scam Reno. Beats by the Pound. I'm not too familiar with Beats by the Pound. Refresh my memory with who Beats by the Pound is, bro. Shit's escaping me right now. Yep, I'm gonna say Kanye versus Pharrell would be better than Kanye versus Swiss Beats. So yeah, I'm gonna give that to you right there. Hold on. I got it. Arsonist versus Harry Fraud. Heat Makers versus Harry Fraud, baby. What do you guys think about that one right there? Heat Makers versus Harry Fraud. I felt really hype about that one. Was I overselling it a little bit? LeVar, great. Ninth Wonder versus Just Blaze. Hell yeah. That's got some Jermaine Dupri, Vinny Idol. Yep. Kanye versus Vinny Idol. Alchemist versus Havoc movie. Metro versus London on the Track. Demetrius, what's popping? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight, man. Appreciate all the conversation with everybody tonight, man. I'm just smoke. Nobody commented on my Chief Keef versus Cassidy joint. Y'all is vicious. Y'all is vicious. Y'all is some vicious bulls, man. Justice League is dope. From Rick Ross's albums, right? I was trying to think of their name, bro. Yeah, you oversold it, bro. Hilarious. Yeah, man, both of those guys, you know, I read that Chief Keef was producing on his shit. You know what I mean? But also, I read that well, I interviewed Cassidy and he told me about producing on his own shit. That's why I mentioned it. Shit's too funny though. Shit is too funny, man. Justice League, hell yeah. Well, this blunt's about to be finished. Listen, y'all, if anybody has any last questions, it's been a dope podcast tonight. I just want to send it around the board. We got like 50 people in here. If anybody has any last questions, man, I'd be honored to stay and answer any questions that you guys have. Just make sure it's respectable. You know what I mean? Wu-Tang versus Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? If Prodigy was here, I would have said Mobb Deep versus DPG. You know, Snoop, Corrupt, Daz versus Prodigy and Havoc. I would have said that off rip. You know what I mean? Yep. K-Slay versus Funk Flex. I gotta say, Harry Fraud. Yeah, Harry Fraud's one of the dopest producers, man. To see the way that he came up in the game from the production that he was making, you know, to the way that he just, you know, got a fan base and everyone loving his shit. It's pretty dope, man. Smoking on this good sticky buns right now, man. I ain't gonna lie, this shit is right, man. Appreciate you all for tapping in with me tonight, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me tonight, man. DJ Drama versus DJ Khaled. I think Khaled would take him. I think Khaled would take Drama. But you know what, man? Drama would put up an amazing fight. So in reality, when it comes to these verses, it's really more about, you know, the planning of the records and shit like that. Like I felt like personally, I felt like the way that 3-6 Mafia or the way that Bone Thugs Harmony played their records, that's why I felt like they won. So that's what it really comes down to as well. It's all about strategically placing your records. I want to do a internet versus an interview versus, excuse me. What interviewer, what blogger, what influencer out there thinks that they can mess with Mikey T when it comes to a versus? I'll put up all my best clips. I got 20 clips to run. I got 20 clips. I got ammo. I got extra shit. I'll put up Lil Wayne. I'll put up French Montana. I'll put up Yo Gotti. I'll put up Young Dolph. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? I'll put up some major shit. Who wants to get this? Who wants to get this internet interview versus going? Mikey T versus No Jumper. Mikey T versus Adam 22. Actually, let's flip it. Adam 22 versus Mikey T. Vlad TV versus Mikey T. I'll put up my clip with Crunchy Black. DJ Vlad can put up his clip with Crunchy Black. DJ Vlad can put up his clip with Saigon. I'll put up my clip with Saigon. We can go tit for tat. I want to know which interviewer can go toe-to-toe with me in a versus. I think an interviewer versus would be lit. MREC, you want to come on the channel and do this interview versus? Who wants it? Which one of these bloggers want it? Who wants to get it, man? Bone got spanked, Mikey. Hey, I'm just saying, I think the way that Bone Thugs and Harmony did, like, yo, capital third letter C, I guess you weren't in tune with the live. We did a whole review of all 20 rounds. Vlad has easily the greatest catalog of hip-hop interviews. That's without a doubt. But I want to know which one of these interviewers, which one. Gilly, let's go. Top 10, top 20. I got 20 rounds in me. I'll even have Gilly interviews in there too. You know what I'm saying? I'll have my interviews with Gilly. I'll throw in a couple of my old interviews with the major figures, Ab Lava, Spado, Bump, Dutch. You know what I mean? I got them all. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw in some of that Philly shit. You know what I mean? I think me and Gilly would be a good versus too, man. But I guess nobody wants to see that, man. Nobody wants to see Mikey T in a versus for the interviews. People are like, yo, that's kind of weak, Mikey T. Yeah, that's why I was saying, Scam, that if DJ Drama, exactly, Mikey T versus Say Cheese. Come on, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Mikey T versus Wallow. I know Wallow has the Where's Wallow series. So let's go. Let's get it. Wallow's top interviews versus Mikey T's top interviews. I got Little Dirk. I got some shit, man. I got Fatboy SSE. I got Scott Storch. You know what I'm saying? I got some shit. Me and Gilly would be the best. Mikey T and Say Cheese. MREC has a lot of dope interviews. I want to see how it goes. Let's go round for round, baby. Let's do this. I'm ready to go. I'm the top hip hop blogger. I'm just waiting on the contract to arrive for my show. Then we're going to do this shit standing up, rolling up, all types of shit. But right now I'm chilling. I got a desk. You know what I mean? I got this desk specifically for my show, for my podcast. But when we get this shit popping, we're going to be standing up, walking around the mansion. You know what I'm saying? And then all them rappers that have been watching, that mess with me, that hit me up behind closed doors, and the ones who are just watching and not really letting you know, they're all going to come on the show as well. And we're really going to turn this shit up to a whole nother notch, because a lot of people out there, I know they respect what I do. But you know what? Not everybody is just going to come out and tell you that. You got to prove what you can do. You know what I mean? You got to prove what you can do. And that's what I've been doing for 10 plus years. It ain't going to stop, you guys. I got heart. I got drive. I got determination. Yo, Crooklyn in the house. Mikey T got the wave god. All bosses, salute. IP, much love and respect, Mikey T from Chicago, Humboldt Park. Hope I said that right, man. Yeah, I got Max B. I got Max B shit. Got French Montana. I got Fat Trell. Like, come on, man. I got 20, man. I'm ready for this versus. Who wants this versus? And let's get that shit put on by Bel Air. They're going to have the Bel Air blogger. The Bel Air blogger, Mikey T, coming from the blue corner. And I don't know who the hell wants it with the blue corner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who wants it with the blue corner. You do not want it with the Bel Air blue corner, baby. We drinking that Gucci, man. Burr. But yeah, man, let's get up out of here, man. All Philly work. Major salute. Major salute. Major salute. All bosses salute. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. It's been a dope show, man. It's been a dope show, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Shelton says, I'm the blogger with clout. All these other I'm the blogger with clout all these rappers talk about, or am I the blogger with clout that all these bloggers talk about? I think I'm the blogger with clout that all these rappers talk about, because when I be meeting these rappers, they be in awe of meeting me too. Like, I remember meeting Casanova and he was like, I like that guy. I like that guy. Yeah. So I'm the blogger with clout that all these rappers talk about. But you know what? You don't got to be shy to let me know that you talk about me, man. You don't got to be hiding behind closed doors to let me know that you be talking with your friends about me, that you be watching the videos and shit. Just show some love me, because honestly, this brand isn't going to grow without everybody out there being honest about what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to keep on coming on here day in and day out. So I'll see y'all in the next episode, man. I'm Mikey T, the movie star, but you already know that. Let your friends know. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. If this is your first time seeing this, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel if this is your first time seeing this. Major salute to everybody for tapping in. Salute.